Hey guys, how we doing? Breakfast with Buck for the Christian on the go. Today, Luke chapter 19, 1 through 10. Story of a tax collector, vertically challenged. Name is Zacchaeus. Jesus is in Jericho. Let's hit it. So, question being is, a lot of us are really aware of what we can do for Jesus, our talents, and we're also aware of our limitations. You know, I can't sing. I'm colorblind. Maybe you're not friendly. Maybe you have a hard time, in Bible studies. I don't know. Everybody has something they're just not the best at. There are those, like, I don't know, people out there that are like right next to Greek God in terms of talent, and it's really nauseating if you're not one of them. But the story of Zacchaeus kind of talks to the rest of us. So I don't know much about Zacchaeus. I mean, he was a tax collector. The Bible generally doesn't like those guys. They're cheats, they're steals, they're collaborators, whatever. They're just they're not the classy people that we think about. So Jesus is on his way, but this guy Zacchaeus just really wanted to see Jesus. And he climbs up on a tree. Pretty cool. I thought about that for a while. That must have took a lot of work. We're talking the tangible session. I mean, you go climb a fig tree, a sycamore tree today. Tell me how it felt. That's what he did. But I don't know if that's the important part. I really think the really important part is Jesus' reaction. Because when he gets there, in verse 5, he says, Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house. And I thought about that. And I was like, Jesus is well aware of our limitations. In fact, a lot of them, this is going to speak out, he made us with them. Okay? Maybe for a reason. I often wonder that. Maybe my limitations are so my strengths are more accentuated. I don't know. But see, the golden part here is, besides his height, all of his other, we'll just say, problems that he had, his spiritual problems or the things that, we'll say corruption or whatnot, that made him dislikable or displeasing or whatever. Jesus said, it's okay, I'm accepting you and your limitations and your issues and your drama and your past. You don't got to go climb no tree, You don't got to go solve your limitations in your crisis. So Jesus says, okay, next time I come by, it's not an inspection, Okay, I see a little dust on the mirror there, or smudges or whatever. Come back next time, Zacchaeus, and you better be up on that tree at the highest limb, because otherwise it ain't happening. So I hope today you think about it in terms of, you're not the sum of your parts, so to speak. In other words, all the problems and all the things that you've done, or all your limitations, or all your weaknesses. That's not what Jesus is worried about. He's not sitting there saying, "Oh boy, what am I to do with this guy?" He made you that way. He sees who you are. He wants to use you the way you are. He's going to take care of those problems for you. Those, we call it sin or weaknesses or whatever. He's going to work with you through that. So I hope today that you have a little bit of sense of excitement, that you can say, hey, I'm usable to God, even though I might have my limits and weaknesses and shortcomings. Amen. All right, we'll talk to you next time. Later.